Good evening. Welcome to the City of Lebanon Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for Monday, November the 6th. Roll call, please.
Corey Coots.
Here.
Chad Kiger.
Here.
Bruce Polly.
Here.
Ron Edwards.
Here.
Lori Gross. Here.
Okay, we've got everybody here tonight. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes for last month? And so, if there's no problems, entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from the October meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Next item of business is there any problem with the meeting dates for next month? Everybody had a chance to look at that for next year? Next year. Is that, everybody good with it?
I'm good.
We need to have a motion on that?
Yeah, we will need a motion to approve the meeting dates for 2024.
Need a
Make a motion, we approve the meeting dates for 2024.
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
That carried also. We have one item of business tonight. It's docket 2381, Gary Murray with Prolistics requesting development standard variance for Aurora Auto Parts to allow for an expansion of passenger vehicle and trailer parking lots. The property is located 500 South Enterprise Boulevard and is zoned planned business industrial. Ben?
Thank you, Mr. Pauly. I'll go through a quick overview of the site and the requests here, and I'll answer any questions if you have any. So, again, if they want to go ahead and pull up the screen, we've made sure it worked tonight. It didn't for me a couple of weeks ago. This is the site in question. This is the southeast end of the business park. You can see the railroad tracks right here just to the east of the site. State Road 39 just off the screen. This is Enterprise Boulevard running right past the site. This is a site for Aurora Auto Parts, and they are looking to do some expansion of the parking areas. And so when we went back and looked at the history of this site, we weren't able to find any pre-existing variances, even though there are some existing improvements on the site that don't meet our standards. For example, that the truck area is not curbed. There are some parking spaces that right now are 18 feet in length, which is essentially what they're doing is looking to extend and expand upon what's already there, but we just weren't able to find any variances in place to approve of what those previous improvements look like. So we wanted to go ahead and get those variances in place now to accommodate both the existing improvements on the site and the proposed expansion. So let me go through. Here is the overall site. You can kind of see the existing building in the X here. You can see the dark gray area here on the north end of the site is the added trailer parking areas. And then you've got a couple areas here to the northwest and southwest of the building where they'd be adding some employee parking spaces. And I'll show you the zoom in on these a little bit so you can see a little bit better detail. So here's that northwest corner. Again, you see the trailer parking and the additional employee parking area. That's to the east, the northeast. You can see the additional trailer parking spaces. And then to the southwest. So the requests tonight are one for a variance from the parking curb requirement, and that would be adjacent to these trailer parking spaces on the north end. There is a large regulated drain that's directly north of this site, and so this entire parking lot right now is not curbed, and it sheet drains into that drainage or that regulated drain. So they're really looking to just continue that existing drainage pattern and allow this new paved area to continue to sheet drain into that regulated drain. The second was for parking lot perimeter landscaping. As I mentioned, this is a regulated drain, and this parking actually bumps up directly to the top of bank of that regulated drain, so there is no space to put parking lot perimeter landscaping and none of this existing parking lot perimeter. If you go back to the overall, you can see there is not landscaping along that perimeter right now. It's kind of tucked back in there in the middle of into the interior of the business park. So there wasn't any landscaping provided between their trailer parking area and the trailer parking area to the business adjacent. So that would be the second request, is to allow for a variance from the parking lot perimeter landscape area. And the third one is the parking space dimensions, and where this comes into play is on these parking spaces that are along the exterior of this parking lot. As you can see, there are existing parking spaces that run all along this side. Those are all 9 by 18 spaces. So they're looking to continue the size parking space that is already there and do additional 9 by 18 spaces. Our ordinance requires 9 by 20 spaces. So rather than having them modify just this small part of the parking lot to do 9 by 20 spaces and bumping it out, we just suggested that it made more sense to go ahead and do a variance to allow them to continue those existing space sizes along this western edge of the property. So those would be the 3 requests that are before you tonight. Is parking curb associated with the truck and trailer parking area, parking lot perimeter landscaping, and then the parking space dimensions. Those are the 3 requests before you here tonight. Rather than read through all of the approval criteria for each of the 3, I will just suggest that we do have in the staff report for the record the criteria. Each of those 3 criteria have been acknowledged for those 3 variances in the staff report. And finally, staff has recommended approval of all 3 of those variance requests. Again, the parking curb, parking lot perimeter landscaping, and parking space dimensions. Staff has recommended approval of those variance requests. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
On the 3rd variance, when was the building originally built?
The applicant may be able to answer that question for you. I don't have that. Our records didn't go back far enough, I can tell you that, but we weren't able to find a record of any variances associated with that, but they probably can answer that question for you.
Well, maybe I don't need it answered. How do I want to say this? The 18-foot on what's existing now, that didn't have to have that wasn't voted on back whenever,
Well,
correct?
we weren't able to find a record that there was a variance approved for that. So I can't really tell you exactly the history of how that came to pass, that there's 9 by 18 spaces, but we weren't able to find any record of any variances associated with those spaces.
Personally, I measured all 3 of my vehicles tonight, and I got a standard pickup truck that is 19 feet. I'm at the Walmart, Kroger, wherever, and the amount of trucks that exceed the 18 feet.
Right.
And I just don't know that I like that one.
Well,
Other than that, I
we're
mean,
we're in a situation where where it's already like that.
Well,
So if
that's
we're-
why I was saying the existing that is already like that, but does this new part have to be like that?
If we want them to bump the parking out an extra 2 feet just for the additional spaces, I mean, that's obviously a solution. I don't know if it's the ideal solution. And as you can see, there is limited area in that area too, and I think there's actually another drainage swale. So I don't know how far at all you could even bump out before you're actually into the top of bank of the swale.
Kind of where I was going with
Yeah,
that.
so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it real well. Now, probably not. You can't really see the variation here, but that drainage swale runs this way and then down here to this pond that's here. So I think about that edge of parking is about where you get to the top of bank of the ditch. And you can't really see it very well on here because there's no shadows associated with the ditch, but it's a pretty deep regulated drain. So
Okay.
I don't know how much space you'd have to do it, even if we were wanting to ask them to do that.
I don't have any other questions. Anybody else have questions? Thank you. Okay, you want to step forward and sorry, got to take it in order.
No, that's fine. My name is Gary Murray with Cripe. I'm the engineer on the project. I was just going to suggest that maybe, I don't know when you redid your ordinance, but a lot of ordinances allow for a 2-foot overhang of vehicles. That side is curbed and we're single loaded, so we're not going to be butting up against anything. So you could back in a pickup truck and get the bed back over and out of the drive aisle. So there are other places that have 18, but I'm just saying maybe that was why that was done. And I think the building was originally done around 2002. So it's been there quite a while, but just mentioning things that I've seen before and wanted you to make you aware of that, so.
That makes sense.
There's people parking there now.
No. Well, they may pull off in the grass a little bit, but when I've been out there the couple times to look at. I have not seen that yet, but I think Aurora's looking to bring on more employees. All of the parking that you saw that was up by the building, those are all curbed and does meet this space size requirement. So it's just trying to extend that one side about 20 spaces.
Okay. As the applicant, either one of you wanted to address anything else or about the project? Or does anybody have any questions?
Just a quick note, appreciate the question on the 18-foot. My name's Cody Rouse, I'm with Prologis, we're the building owner. Building was built in 2004. We do have there's an existing tenant in the building, Aurora Parts, as Gary mentioned. They do use the existing parking spaces on the west side of the building. They are able to overhang the edge of the pavement, and they have no concern with the width of those or the length of those parking spaces. It has not caused them any challenges so far to date.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you.
How much space are we talking about for that drive lane?
The width?
From parking,
24 feet.
The driving part of it is 24 feet?
The width of the drive aisle.
Okay. Is that standard?
Yes.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Got to open it for the public. Does anybody from the public want to step forward? Seeing that there's nobody here, we'll close the public end of the meeting. And yes, look for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the development standard variances for parking curbs, parking perimeter landscape, and parking space dimensions.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Kelly?
Corey Coots,
Yes.
Chad Kiger,
Yes.
Bruce Polly,
Yes.
Ron Edwards,
Yes.
Lori Gross. Yes.
Motion carries. Congratulations. Good luck. Actually, that's all we have for tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Does anybody else have anything they need to bring up? If not, our next meeting would be Monday, December the 4th at 7 PM in this room. We'll look for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, third.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Hello.